Welcome back, dear lizard friends. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. I didn't play in a long time for my vacation, so now we're going back to it, and that seems pretty a long time. I said it already, so I'm a bit confused. I came back yesterday from my flight in the evening, so yeah, and I catched me a bit of a cold, so I'm a bit next to me. Like not really there, but we'll manage. And we're back in Gundon, and I really need to see what we can do. What's this? Granted by item, okay. Move field around yourself and your allies to distract your foes. Must be toggled. Gives me defense ability. A chance to avoid projectiles. That's nice. Two toggled abilities, but that's not much of a problem. 8 are the friends, from which we can get 7 at a time because of some new item thingy or some effect. I'm not sure anymore. So we finished in the last episode. We finished Ashes of Mahmud with this very touching story and a lot of things happening. We defeated the Shaper of Flesh. We found out about his experiments on people, and especially the use of human women to create their own abominations. Let's put it like this. And here we are. And I'm just checking my OBS because it shows some weird stuff. But it will go down, I think. Okay, so here we are, back in color and all the things. And today we're going to start on the next expansion, which is Forgotten Gods. This is like the second story expansion and the last large expansion the game had. The Crucible expansion was only like adding an endless mode thingy, arena, whatever. But Forgotten Gods is another story DLC. And this is what we're going to do. But first, we're going back to Devil's Crossing because we still have this quest to speak to Amala Torvan that brought us here in the first place, to give her information about that her father is alive and that we found him and basically pushed him into the portal. So we're here in Mahmud, cleaned out the city basically. We came all the way to Broomwood, and the next area will be the Corvin stands, I guess. I have no idea how big this DLC will be. This one was kind of fun and kind of big. We still weren't at Port Barbary, whatever that place is, but we did a lot, I would say. Let's see what Devil's Crossing has to show us. Maybe this continues if you reach a specific how you say a specific not reward level, but you know what I mean, like reputation level with them. Maybe then there's continues for the story, because I'm not sure, but the main story I think we did completely, because we can basically get up our reputation with the different places.
I am relieved that my father made it safely.
He was a bit shaken up, but still alive.
We were never close, but he's the only family I got left. I don't know how to thank you. Oh, perhaps this. Here, take this potion. My father and I took sips from it along our journey to keep up our strength. I'm sure you'll find it useful.
Can I ask you some questions? No, this we already did, because we talked to her, of course.
This place is like a dream I can't quite shake off.
I heard news that the fiend that destroyed my home has been vanquished at last. I never thought I'd see the day, and I certainly dispelled any illusion that I'd see Mahmud ever again. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so I just need to put some stuff in the storage. And then we talk to our
Safe storage.
quite well-traveled friend that takes care of the this one. put here. I don't know what they're doing actually. There's some material of some kind, but I have no idea what type of material they could possibly be.
I'll keep an eye
So
on
now we talk to a well-spoken to friend here. And what we still didn't do, like there's still some bridges that we didn't repair, like this one. I have no idea where they're leading actually. Yeah, come on. Where's this bridge leading to? Old Grove. Okay. There's nothing here actually. Just totally normal Arbeiter. What the hell? Okay, so this is just like a secret item place or something? And that's it? Out of order. Great. So you repair this bridge for a ton of money and stuff, and it just gives you like some interesting looking shield. This is not the shield you're looking for. I guess this is some kind of Easter egg that I don't get. Lightning damage, ether damage, okay, shield block chance, hellfire mine. 1 to all skills and necromancer is nice. That doesn't really help us. We put it on the bank though because it was kinda expensive. So let's put this one in the storage. I guess it's just some really fancy Easter egg that I don't really get because I have no idea what it refers to. If you know, feel free to tell me. But I don't actually know what this is referring to. Okay, so now let's talk to this guy who, the Emissary, who basically followed us around all the world, so I'm kinda curious now.
Ah, we speak at last. As I am sure you know, there are many who now cast their gaze upon you, traveler. Or should I say, taken. Some who mean you ill, some who fear your potential. Then, there are those who command me. They have taken great interest in your accomplishments. It appears you may be just the one we require.
You require me? For what?
I cannot speak of such things in this place. The cursed gaze of our foes is cast upon us here, so I will be brief. Great powers are gathering within the distant lands of the fallen Corvan people, and the Great Eye has decreed that you must play a part, whatever that may be. Will you answer our summons? Will you join me through the portal? Or do the mortal concerns of these people outweigh the calls of fate?
That sounds all very ominous. Just trust me, I'm a complete stranger in a weird robes like this, standing in a fancy circle that you've never seen before, but I know everything about you, but I don't tell you anything I know. So, just trust me. What is masters of yours?
I am sorry, I cannot say more here. All you need to know is that you have mutual interests and the same enemies. But if we work together, we can triumph where the individual cannot.
Yeah, that's all really ominous. Where's this land of the Corvan people?
Far to the east, beyond mountains and rivers, weeks of travel by foot, a mere instant through an eldritch gate. My masters have granted me the means to return there, but only if accompanied by you. I will not fail in this task.
Okay, ominous emissary. Of course I trust you and just step to a portal that you put there. Ooh, I wanna find out what's up with this guy. It's a blue portal. Green portal. That's new. We had red ones. A lot. We have tons of red ones. Blue? Green? Why am I so confused with colors? Green is new. Okay, the Forgotten Gods then. Conclave of the Tree. Kanata, Mistress of the Sentinels. Mazan, Keeper of Portals. Okay. Nice architecture you got here. Okay, we activated the Rift Gate.
So, you have come, as the Oracle of Dreeg had foreseen. But, are you truly prepared for what's in store for you, in this forsaken land?
What is this place?
You are in the Corvan Basin, a land ravaged by gods and man alike. A land whose secrets are now coveted by a determined few. As for this camp, this is the Conclave of the Three, a gathering of occultists, warlocks, and witches that serve the witch gods. Here the three cults set aside their disagreements and join as one against our mutual foes. Foes which threaten your existence as well, I might add.
What do you need for me from... What do you need me for then?
The three have decreed that I seek out worthy allies in our battle against a common foe. But are you indeed the one we seek? First, you must prove yourself.
Of course. I always need to prove myself. You know everything. How can I even know what your plans are? But I need to prove myself to some weird cult and weird tree that we don't even know who they are. What do I need to do?
Go to the center of the camp before the statues. Kanatha, mistress of the Sentinels, awaits you to begin the Eldritch rites. Conquer whatever horrors assault you from the Eldritch realm, and we shall have our answer.
Now, this sounds, of course, totally safe. May I ask a question first?
In time, all your questions will have answers of their own. But first, the rites.
Okay, then I take on your stupid little challenge. Can't be that hard, can it?
Come see what's left of my wares.
Some interesting looking armor. Some nice blue blinds. Instance. Okay. Halt of Solar Air. Okay. Looks all pretty nice and stuff, but I don't know who you guys even are. Okay.
Put it to good use.
Leave me to my business. Okay. Did you not hear me? Let me spell it out for you. Leave me alone. Okay. This guy just doesn't like me. What? Iron bars. I can buy here iron bars. Okay. What would I want these for? Bring me iron bits and in exchange you receive iron bars. Pass these on to your allies or perhaps your alter egos. Ah, I see. Okay. This lets me change my money into iron bars that I can then, over the bank I guess, over the storage, give to my other characters. And they can then use this again to make money out of it. I see. Totally sense. Okay. Worthy purpose. Let this sacrifice echo across the conclave that our brother's Jaros was found worthy of bearing his life before Solar's blade. Few are granted the honor and fewer still have the will to accept the burden for the benefit of us all. And so it was with our brother who not only willingly stepped forward to feed Solar's hunger, he had Solar's sigils painted upon his bare chest as he paraded himself to the center of the conclave. Larger than life, he stood proudly before Sargon and his curved witchblade and proclaimed to all that today marks the first day of their victory against the usurper. Jaros kneeled as was customary, but his eyes never turned away from the vicar's stoic gaze. As was set up and asked by Solar, Sargon uttered the sacred words and slid his forefinger to paint a rune upon Jaros' forehead. Then the vicar stood behind the sacrifice and placed the sacred blade upon his throat. This was the chosen's last chance to back down, though to be perfectly honest, such a disgrace would likely end in death anyway. Jaros looked ahead with confidence. His face was beaming with pride, such was his fate. For Zola, he began to cry when Sargon slit his throat and plunged his other hand drenched in black flames into Jaros' chest. Sargon removed the dead man's heart in a swift motion and drank deep of the lifeblood spilling forth. Jaros' body slumped to the ground, his eyes still staring forward. Several attendants saw to his cremation as the vicar delivered the heart to Solar's shrine. The heart was placed in an ornate bowl and incinerated, and as it burned, the runes upon the shrine grew brighter. Solar is pleased, Sargon uttered, smiling with bloody lips. Okay, so they sacrifice people to their gods, I suppose? Who's the emissary? Well, now that is a good question. The emissary has been in service of the tree for a very long time. Some say since the beginning, which would make him hundreds of years old. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but there is no doubt he has been one of their most fervent servants. He goes where the tree will not, recruiting talented individuals in their name or scouring them from existence should their refusal be perceived as a threat to the gods. I suspect many here were once recruited by him, including yours truly. You were recruited by the emissary? Yes, I certainly was. It's not the happiest of tales, but all worked out in the end, I suppose. I was 14 at the time. My parents had fallen ill to a pox that claimed countless lives across the countryside. Things were not looking good and we were running out of money. The little bit of medicine I could afford was quickly running out. One day, while I was out in the market trying to scrounge some coin for the meager goods we had, I began hearing voices, but they did not originate from anyone nearby. Only I could hear them. They told me things I thought impossible. At first I was rightfully scared and didn't know what to make of it. I thought I was going mad, but in them was wisdom. I just didn't know it at the time. It wasn't long before my mother succumbed to the pox. I had to bury her myself as father was still too weak. As tears streamed down my cheeks, I vowed to not let it happen again. I listened to the voices and to them learned tricks beyond mortal limits. I hurt some people, but I was able to earn enough money for food and for father's medicine. The day father got out of bed for the first time in weeks, a stranger came to me on the road. A hood cloaked his features and he introduced himself only as the emissary. He told me that the voices I was hearing were not of my own failing sanity, but instead they were a gift. He told me that I was right to listen, but now the time had come to pay for my gifts. Father's life in exchange for my service. He said that I should keep listening to the voices, to follow them wherever they lead, but I will never see my father again. To deny them was to deny the call of a god. I felt that I had no choice. I wrote father a note and left in the middle of the night. The emissary was not wrong. The voices led me to Stone Reach, a coven of witches in the service of the tree. There I honed my powers and embraced my calling. I do not know what happened to father, but given what happened across Cairn, I can only imagine. And I can only imagine I'd have shared his fate if I didn't leave. What is this place? This is a gathering of those faithful in the tree, a convergence of powers the world has not yet seen. All of us were called here, much like you were. The tree? Are you really that out of your element? The tree, the witch gods, Bismir, Dreek and Solael, the very reason why we stand here this day. We are all of us bound to their will. To serve them is to have the purpose, and now you have been called into their service as well. Okay, and what are you doing here? Each of us has our role to play, but all of us are here because the tree demanded it. A forgotten threat rises to the north, one that may consume this land if we falter or delay. There are some in this camp who are skeptical of this, but they are fools to question the gods. The threat is real, as we will all know it soon enough. Okay. I keep that in mind then. Housekeeper. Okay. Don't distract him. Doors. Wigguard. Okay, all of them are
Stay out of my way and we'll get along just...
Okay, they all don't really much like me.
Serve the three and prosper.
Okay.
So you are what the emissary has brought us. Are you prepared for the trials ahead? This should prove entertaining.
Perhaps you'd prefer to test me yourself.
That would be brief.
So arrogant. Okay, what is this about? Convergence of the Covenant. I'm certain you have heard the whispers as I had. The Mad One is restless, his mind filled with visions of the Burning One's return. If the bonds are broken and his power restored, he could unmake everything. I do not have to remind you of the consequences. The Triumvirate's fate is bound in this moment. Okay. Send word along the spider's web. Rally the servants of Bismir. I invoke the sacred covenant. The forces of the tree must converge in the forgotten lands of the Corvan people. Our forces must unite against this threat, or divided we shall succumb to the vengeful flames. None must be allowed to defy our summons. Any that do are as much enemy as the forces we contend with and shall be dealt with in kind. We must not allow ourselves to be distracted by the machinations of the Ethereals or the Bloodletters succumbing to their own doom. The danger they pose pales in comparison to what awaits us if we fail. And if the rep has done its part, then the Erulan survivors will at least stymie their brokers long enough for our matters to be settled. Seek out the twin statues, you know of which I speak. They veil their sin and will serve as an opportune location to begin our work. At the request of the Infinite Eye, I dispatched the Emissary to track down valuable allies who will turn the tide in our favor. I consider their life expendable in pursuit of victory, but one must not tamper by the whims of fate when they are so clearly written before us. By the tree thrones we will eradicate this threat to our gifts. The world will tremble before the might of the witch gods. I'm not so sure if that sounds all that good to me.
Sorry, I can't talk.
Yeah. No one can talk, it seems. That doesn't sound too good to me, actually. Okay, we have an illusionist here.
Greetings, Seeker.
Some guy that doesn't do anything.
I sense turmoil within you.
Spirit guard, that's the ones that also can...
Stay strong.
Ah, illusionist was this, yeah. Harnessing the Forgotten. So many texts and stuff here. There are ulterior motives to my selection, this location for our conclave. The Druid seers have no doubt felt it by now, and our spiders have suspected. Yes, the veil is in here, and yes, it enables the cult to better work with the gifts of the Eldritch realm. But another source of power lies buried out at our fingertips. At my behest, one of our most gifted scholars in the veil's mysteries, Mazan, is working on harnessing this power. As you well know, there are other realms, other constructs of the primordial gods. The statues adorning the sacred place are more than just mere decoration. They are conduits between realities and could be manipulated to form a gateway with enough force of will. I believe Mazan is close to a breakthrough, and once he succeeds he will have an entire realm of untapped potential to harness for our purposes. I for one am eager to see what we uncover if past experience is any indication. It doesn't sound that good to me, I don't know, it's like, kinda not trustworthy whatever they do.
I'll give you a good
Something
price
is
on what I've
really
got left.
weird with these people.
I do the best I can with what
Here we
I've
have a
got.
bewitched smith. Something about all of this sounds so wrong to me, I can't even put my finger on it really good, but something is really off here.
Come see what's left of my wares.
So we have
See you
like
around.
3 gods or something, and they all have different oracles here. People don't really seem to like us that much yet. Maybe that changes after we do the ritual thingy. Excuse me? Okay, whatever. She's talking to herself or something. So we have like 3 different old gods. They're sacrificing people to them and they're telling me something about them. I don't know. I don't really trust this. Death to the usurper. Praises be upon the tree. Praises be upon their wisdom, their foresight and their pity upon mankind. For without their blessings we would be as worthless husks, devoid of the gifts of the Eldritch realm and at the mercy of the luminary hounds. Curses be upon the usurper, the burning vengeance, the Corvin destroyer. Curses be upon his lust for the Eldritch thrones, the pinnacle of the gods. May he die 1,000 deaths, a streak, suffer 1,000 festering wounds. May his insides fill with spiders and his eyes turn to ash by Eldritch fire. All this we invoke upon the usurper of the Eldritch powers, powers meant to be wielded by the true gods and their servants. We march through the blistering sands and into the heart of flame. The whispers of Dreek in our ears, the hounds of Bismil at our side, the black flame of Solael upon our blades. None shall be spared before our word. By the gifts of our patrons we will reclaim what is theirs. And through our blood shall spill upon the Corvin sands, it will be done in honor of the true masters of humanity. Okay. Sounds nice. So, before we go into this whatever test thingy they prepared for us, we end the episode for today. We will find out what pretty little tests we have to do for them in the next episode. I'm still a bit puzzled if this is good or not. This is kind of not looking that I don't know. It doesn't appear to me trustworthy. I don't know. Some fanatic cultists blabbering about some burning one. I am not so sure if this is all trustworthy at all. If they're just using me for the one causes, I don't know. We will see. So for today, I say thank you very much. I am proud and happy that you are all here and watching and still with me through all of the story, even though we passed 100 episodes by far at this point. And yeah, thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Stay well, stay healthy especially. Take care of yourselves, and see you. Bye!